few fucking rosters here. Check the Zoomaa via Twitter. Yeah, we got that as well. Let me pull that up as well, man. How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? What's going on, folks? Let me go to the community here. Bada bing boom over here like this. Boom. How we doing today, chat? We doing all right? What's Sam doing? He's talking about the teams. Oh, this is what he's looking at. This is what LaRue's looking at here. This is what he's looking at. Let me see what's going on here. Is LaRue in the team speak? Ernesto Backwood going crazy out there? He's going crazy, bro. Tell Sam to join a TS if he wants to hang out, bro. I'm at a TS, bro. I'm chilling in the at a T speak, but Chad, we got a lot of rosters here to talk about. Holy shit. There's been a few rumors. I mean, hey, we might as well just look at this. We might as well just pull this up like what Sam's doing. This got all the rosters here. Let's take a look here. Let's see what's going on. So first and foremost, the LA Thieves team is official. They are officially, actually, we could probably just pull it up from the community. It's got to be here somewhere. First and foremost, Scrap says he's excited the team with Ghosty, Meat, and Dan are going to be chiefing together. Now, that's crazy. Wait, what? Somebody said the tweet above. Wait, the Nate Shot respawn? I seen a clip. LA Thieves will be playing out of Dallas this season. There was another team offering them as much money as us, and they could live in Texas, so we had to make do.
No way. Out of Texas. Hold up.
I'm assuming you guys are playing out of LA, right? Now I'll be in Texas? Oh, shit. No way you guys are playing out of Dallas.
Okay,
dude.
Scrap's insane. Yeah, guys, the team's playing out of Texas. That was one of the,
I forced Nade, said I wouldn't join. Wait, you being serious? Are you guys actually playing out of Texas?
Kind of. There was another team offering them as
this is what I
say,
said.
And they could live in Texas, and so
Todd
we
house?
had to.
No way. You guys doing a Thieves house? That'd actually be sick.
We had to make it work. They're going to be playing out of Texas. Shout
Makes
out
sense
for just really ripping the Band-Aid off.
Sure, bro. You guys can't smoke
Long
down
neck.
here. You guys will be fucking awful sober.
Okay, makes sense. I talked about that. I just didn't see Paco leaving Texas. Also, that's just the best place to be honest, if you're in an online league. I mean, playing in LA in an online league, guys, as much as there's very good, yes, there is very good papaya here in Los Angeles. But, oh, here's Sam. But Texas is a better place to be. Hey, Sam.
Hey.
What's going on, LaRue? What's happening, man?
Hey, man, just looking at these rosters. Dude.
Yeah, I was actually just pulling up the same graphic you had up. I seen what you were looking at here. I just got on.
You want to hop into combo?
Absolutely. First and foremost, Sam, congratulations. Congratulations,
Tom, these
Sam.
are my guys.
These are your guys, Sam.
Tom,
these
are
are your
guys.
Hey, I'm sure you're gonna like hearing that this year.
Tom, these are, yeah. Yeah, Sam, these are your guys that won the fourth straight tournament. Talk to me.
Sam, what are your thoughts on the roster? LA Thieves, Envoy, Ghost, Dehydrate, Scrap. I mean, what a team, Sam. What a team.
Yeah, they're fucking insane, right? Long story short, because I've been yapping about the roster for 30 minutes, I think S&D is going to be the only thing that matters for them. Their respawn is going to be good automatically, I think, just from like experience and kills, because I think they're going to have an excess of kills against everybody except for two teams.
Yeah.
So I think their S&D is going to be literally their whole year. If they're good at search,
I think they'll be good at search. I think they'll be.
I think they will be as well. But I'm saying like that's going to be like definitely the focal point of the team, because they're going to be outslinging everybody, bro.
Yeah,
they're just going to walk down everyone.
And then I also just seen a clip of Nate Shot saying that they're going to be living in Texas. I've talked about this. I mean, Texas is the place to be for an online league, Sam. Like if you're playing online, I mean, there's no reason to not be in Texas realistically. Yeah. But it made sense because there's no way Paco was moving out of Texas or some of these guys. Like I feel like if you're that type of player, you can kind of demand that when you're kind of negotiating contracts. Like, yo, I'm not leaving. Yeah. Oh, we got a bomb, Sam. We just got a bomb.
I like bombs.
There's been a Ronnie bomb apparently.
Ronnie, what are you doing, bro? He's been in my chat for the last hour. Ronnie,
what's going on here? Let me see. Ronnie's in there. What did he say?
Did you tweet that shit G2 roster?
Yes, yes, he did. He says sources Minnesota Rokkr are targeting Arcides, Paul X, Estrel, and Hook. Clay and Geo are two other ARs that have been spoken about. Nothing set in stone, but this seems to be what Rokkr have pivoted to after trying to sign the rumored Gentlemates roster. Holy shit, Sam!
That team is terrible.
That roster is whoa.
That team is horrible.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? I mean, listen, off the bat, on paper, not liking it. Just got to be honest, man. Okay. Just got to be honest here.
You want to know what I got to be honest about? How is Geo nowhere right
I don't
now?
know. I said that yesterday. Where's Geo? Why is nobody picking up Geo? I don't understand.
How is he nowhere?
I don't know.
Dan said we're funny. Dan, that team is terrible. Listen, I'm a straight shooter, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we keep it a buck, man. We gotta keep it a buck, man. I mean, I don't know. I feel
that
like
team's terrible though.
Hook and Estrio are going to be all over the map, just the way they play. They're like, that's going to be a hectic sub duo. And then Alec and Paul X, I mean, they showed out in challengers a little bit this year, but I mean, we all know that the big league is different, right? We've seen a lot of challenges
on the team, bro. That's all I give a fuck about.
Who?
Gio and Estriel deserve to be in the league.
Oh yeah, Estriel's a great player. Yeah, Estriel actually played great this year. He did his thing. Yeah. He deserves to be in the league. Actually, Paul X is a weird one to me because I don't think Paul X mechanically is a bad player. I actually think he's a really good player. I think Paul X had other problems.
He's like a shit teammate or something, right?
Yeah, that's what people were saying. But he has also commented about that in the past and is like, I'm a change. He talks about how he's a changed man, which granted, he is getting older. People are getting older. People do change. So if Paul X comes back in with a better mental and just a better teammate, I can see him being good here. I think Alec and Hook are the big two, the big two here. Like, how are they going to perform? How are they going to play with this roster? But overall, I mean, I see Clay and Gio are two other ARs being spoken about. Do you think this team is final here, Sam? Or do you think we could potentially see Clay or Gio be thrown in there?
I mean, I don't know. The only thing that I 100% want for that G2 spot is Gio and Estriel on the team.
Yeah. Ludi said in the chat.
The last two players are important, but I think both of them need to be on that team.
Dan just said in the chat, why don't you make the team? And I'll be honest, like, listen, it's a lot easier for us to judge here, like whether the team's good or not. We don't know what you guys are dealing with, Dan, behind the scenes, whether it's budget or what. I mean, I can make a shit ton of teams, Dan, but will they be possible? Probably not, right? Like, I don't know what's possible, what's not possible. But it is cool to see Paul X back in there and Estriel. I think they both deserve it. I just think Hook and RCs are going to be the two X factors here. I think depending on how they perform and how they come out, it's going to tell a lot about this team. Me personally, I just don't see this team working. I don't think when you compare them up against like the rest of the teams.
I mean, they're the last team.
Yeah, and comparing these to the rest of the teams, it just doesn't. I don't think these guys are going to be able to compete. I'll be honest. They'll compete, but I don't know if these guys are going to be able to like really like turn some heads. And that's just me being honest, bro. That's just me being honest. I'm not trying to like take shots at you, Dan, or the team. I'm just being honest, and I don't know if this is going to work personally. But go ahead, Sam.
I was just going to say, as long as if you get Gio and Estriel, I am usually against Kyler, just for the fact that at this point it's kind of proven that just the way that he plays COD isn't consistent or like good. But I will say that BO6 could be a title where Kyler is insane. Like he just had, like, how he is when he goes from game to game. Like that, this could just be a title where he is fucking unreal. Like it's just super small, high engagement, just skill ceiling, frying people. And I think that is a situation where Kyler could flourish. So if he does end up on the team, I actually don't mind it. But I think that Estriel and Gio should be non-negotiable if it's possible. Anyway, I think that both of them need to be on this team.
What do you think
in terms of like slaying potential?
What do you think it is with Gio? Why do you think teams are shying away from Gio?
No, bro. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know if there's something else, like a narrative or something behind the scenes that people are just not feeling Gio right now. But from what I've seen from Gio this year, granted, and he was a rookie this year. I mean, this was like his first year in. I mean, he played with a lot of confidence, bro. He has a lot of skill. Like he's definitely a good player to have on your team. And I felt like he was only going to get better after the first year. Like, the first year is kind of like the year you get your jitters out, get comfortable. I thought after the first year, Gio would come in and be like a really good player for like a lot of these rosters. And I haven't seen him on any of these rumors till now. And he's not even on the main roster in this rumor. He's kind of on the sideline here being thought about. So overall, I think the roster, in my opinion, on paper, is not looking too hot, but we'll see how these guys end up performing, Sam, if this is the roster that they end up going with.
Yeah. I just wonder if I'm right with like the assessment of BO6. Like, do you agree with me that like just the way that the game played and like felt that it's just going to be like
hectic,
like just face bash, hectic.
I mean, even just looking at the maps, right? Like, and they also some of the maps that weren't in the beta were actually shown on. I saw an article somewhere where they were showing like the maps that are coming in, and even looking at the layouts of the map, Sam, they all look like mediums. Yeah. They say that they're medium-sized maps, but they look more on the smaller side. Like, think of Rio, right? Like, and how fast-paced Rio played. Every map looks like Rio.
It's like a 3-sub map.
Yeah, like a 3-sub map. Like, I mean, granted, we don't know like what's gonna get nerfed, and I mean, granted, what was that sub that was godlike in the beta? The heck was it? Yeah, the Jackal. Like, if the Jackal stayed how the Jackal was, right? Like, we'd see a shit ton of subs. I think a lot of it depends on like what kind of updates we get. But I think we can all agree, like playing the beta, the Jackal was probably one of the best guns. I mean, the AR was good too, but the AR, you don't move that fast with it, Sam. Like you can't run fast.
Yeah.
Which kind of gives me like a one main AR vibe, like a 3-sub one main AR.
Super good. It's just like the maps don't cater to it. It's kind of how it was this year. Like the AR was, or the sub was good, but the maps were so shit for subs that it didn't matter. Yeah. So like everyone was just running ARs until the end of the season when the maps got smaller.
Yeah. And I will say, granted, like, you know, when you look at like all the players that are on the market and everybody getting picked up, it is hard to make a top of the line team, right? Like it's not easy. So maybe they just see potential here. But it is cool to see like Alec get back in there after he kind of did his whole stint through challengers. How many pros do you see, Sam? They get kicked out of the league and they don't play challengers. They just go and sit on the sideline
and assume they're going to get an offer.
Yeah, right. And assume they're going to get an offer. So I like that Alec kind of worked his way up through challengers and is kind of back here now.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be easy. These guys are going to have to show out. They have a lot of talented rosters around them that they're going to have to compete against. So best of luck to these guys. We see Slasher now getting rumors. Speaking of not playing challengers, Slasher didn't play challengers, and this guy fucking got on the team.
I feel like Austin's the exception to that.
Yeah, Austin. I guess I
don't gotta play challengers.
Yeah, I don't know if Austin. I mean, Austin. You know, Austin. He was probably talking to people. He was probably talking to people for sure.
Austin's always scheming, bro. Austin is always scheming, bro.
Hey, Benja.
How you doing, Benjay?
Wait, Tom. I gotta know because I have my answer. What outside of obviously FaZe, Optic, and LAT, like what's your low sleeper new roster?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. It's hard, bro. It's really hard.
I have an answer.
I think that on paper, that Ultra and C9.
Bro, I love Toronto's team.
Yeah, Ultra and C9 on paper look like the two teams, Sam, that look the most balanced. Like an entry fragger SMG, like two aggressive SMG players, aggressive flex, and then like a kind of like that main AR like backbone. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I like Toronto's a lot. I think that's an easy pick, but I like Carolina's too. I actually think Carolina's is good with Mac on the flex.
Yeah,
I agree with Carolina. I am out on C. I think C9 is just a better version of Vegas, and they still have the same problem as Vegas.
I don't like their sub duo.
I don't like the sub duo. I don't like their.
Who's sub duo? Carolina.
Carolina.
It's just the Boston. It's the old Boston sub duo from 104.2.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, Sam. But I feel like with Cloud9 with the sub duo, it's just gonna be consistency with them. Like Kremp and Nero, they have so many pop off moments, but then they have so many moments where it's kind of like, yo, what the fuck's going on with these guys? You know what I mean?
Are you look at the C9 team? Are you against a Toronto? Are you picking them to win a Game 5 search?
I mean, we have no idea.
No, but I know we have no idea, but just today, gun to your head, like, are you taking C9 or are you taking Toronto?
It's a literal 50-50. You can just pick any of them. We don't know.
I would take Toronto because Jamie and Toby have proved time and time again. Yeah, they've had up and down years, right? You know, I don't think Vanguard was the best year for those guys, but they've had years where they've clutched it. The problem with C9 is I see the same issue that Vegas had in search. Who is going to be the S&D wizard that's going to ensure this team is staying ahead of the meta, that they're making the right mid-round decisions? I don't see it. It was Johnny on their fucking last team, and he's not here. You think Dante's going to do it? Think Krep's doing it?
No idea.
That's the question mark. That's the question mark with these guys.
I'm not worried about respawn. I think T9's a great respawn team.
I do like Lamar coming in and coaching that team though. I feel like Lamar will get these guys like this.
I completely didn't even read the coaches thing.
Yeah, because you got to think like Kremp and Nero, like Lamar watching Kremp and Nero every day. Like Lamar's definitely going to be on their ass, bro. Like Lamar's going to get these guys in shape.
Yeah, chat saying Kremp is actually really good at search. That is true.
Kremp is good at search, but
he did IGL search for LA too.
He did IGL for LA Thieves. My concern still though is that like we've seen the kind of decision making that Nero has in search. And I love Dante, but let's not act like Dante's some amazing S&D player either. So I think it's a very similar issue to Vegas.
Bro, there's very few amazing S&D players 100%. In the CL anyway, though. It's not like every team has one.
That's why I like Carolina, because if Mac comes in...
their search is going to be fucking insane.
If Mac comes in, they can produce...
potentially the best.
Yeah, I do want to talk about Carolina because first and foremost, Slasher's coming back in after pretty much sitting out for most of the year. And I thought that was interesting because he didn't play challengers, but we all know what Slasher brings to the table as a player and a teammate. And then Mac, Mac took a year off, came back, and it looks like he's going to be slotted into the flex role here. That's what it looks like, unless they're thinking about putting Tej on a flex.
I hope not. I hope they just let Mac.
I'd rather have Tej like taking routes and stuff. And listen, people, I've seen some comments about Mac, and people are like, Mac on a flex. I don't know. Like some people don't really like that.
Yeah,
I love Mac on a flex.
They got Seattle in their brain, dude. They forgot.
They forgot, man.
Bro.
Mac, bro, Mac is so good with an AR.
Thinking of bitch sub Mac that Seattle, they had him doing that because they had to cover for Dante and fucking AG running around.
The only issue with Carolina is, first off, amazing search team on paper. Hard points should be very good. I will say this collection of players are not the best good players in control. And this could be the same problem that Carolina had last year. Where, yes, they're capable of going 2-0 in a series, but just as capable of getting reverse swept. Yes, control with this team.
Control, dude.
Also, with the Vegas Falcons, how do we say all their names? So we have Luti, and then Luti, and then I want to make sure I don't like say their names wrong. You know what I mean? King Abadi. We obviously know King Abadi. King Abadi was the one doing the 1v1s, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
And then what is it? Xnid, Roxas. Roxas.
I don't know how the other one, because I'm assuming the 5 is different.
Khalid,
the
Xnid,
five
Roxas,
is-
and King Abadi.
What was the first one?
Khalid is how you pronounce his name.
Okay.
Oh, Khalid. People are saying that Khalid is how you say it. So okay, so Khalid.
The numbers are like Arabic translations for sounds and shit. 'Cause they don't have the letters in the alphabet or something like that.
And somebody told me that Xnid is pronounced Zenid. That's what King RC just said in the chat. That's what he said. Zenid.
We'll talk to Luti and get a fucking.
Yeah, we got to talk to Luti, bro. I don't want to get their names wrong. But
the MO in Vegas Falcons is, first off, they were still a very good search team last year in EU Challengers. Like, they are good situational search players, one-on-one search players, and they played very high progressive. Respawn was really iffy for them in the beginning of the year, but when they made that run in EU Challengers last year, they've had a couple of really good key bread and butters, and they grinded out Game 5 series. I think you made a really good point, Sam, a couple of months ago when this team got announced, that like they will get better very quickly in this region, but can they keep up with these teams at Respawn?
I mean, it's the same. It's not the same degree as when all the Europeans kind of moved over here, because like they were behind because their practice really just wasn't great. They weren't playing against NA teams, so they could never really get better. Like they hit their regional ceiling.
Yeah.
So I think that it's the same thing here, obviously to not that extent because there's not as many players, but I think Falcons is going to come here and probably get shit on for a while. But there's going to be a point where they wake up and it clicks, I think, because the style and the level of Call of Duty that's played here as compared to what they're used to on a day-to-day basis is so drastically different. So I think they will improve quick. How much they'll improve and the ceiling of which they can hit, I have genuinely no idea. I'm ignorant to that. I don't know how good or bad any of these guys are, so I'm not going to pretend to know. But just stacking up against the teams and the people that I see on this page, I don't think that they're going to do very well. And that's not to say they won't get better, which they will, like I said, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think just looking at all these rosters on paper, though, man, we're going to have a competitive league this year. Because even looking at some of the mid-pack teams, like, I just don't know if a lot of them will keep up with the slaying power that some of these top teams have. But you know how it is going into a new game. You know, people turn up, people shine out. Like, you never know what could happen with some of these, like, mid-pack teams. I'm really curious to see who's kind of slot into, like, that 4-5 range. Like, Sam, what you were saying. Like, who do you think is going to be, like, that top 4 or 5 team? Because I think we can all agree FaZe Optic and Thieves are like top 3. No order, but FaZe Optic, Thieves.
Fourth is wide open.
Fourth is definitely wide open. Sure. What do you think about the Gentlemates roster, Sam? I never got your opinion on it. I talked about it with Ben. Were we talking about this roster a little bit yesterday? I think I was talking about myself with this roster.
I think we were talking. Weren't we just talking about on the call we were just on?
I don't know. I don't remember. There's been so many rosters and so much movement. I can barely remember what's going on. But with Gentlemates, I actually think chemistry wise and teamwork wise, they're going to be a good team.
I know what Pat's gonna say.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I know what Pat's gonna say.
What's Pat gonna say?
We have Paco at home, bro.
Chat, take a guess. Pat is going to use 2 words to describe this team. Can you guys guess it in the chat?
He's gonna use 2 words.
He's gonna use 2
Blow
words.
It up is 3 words. So
nah.
I don't know.
NYSL is fucking insane.
What are the 2 words he's gonna use? Dog shit? They're saying dog shit.
Dog shit might be it, but friendship cheese.
I don't think this team is going to be dog shit, bro. Skies, Priesta, Kismet, Lins, like, they're good players, bro. Like, they're not going to be just, like, ass. Like, I actually think they're going to be a smart team. Like, they'll actually play smart.
It's a proven roster. The problem with a smart team is, like, the way the CDL is with how much online there is, this team is going to be able to beat good teams and be able to lose to bad teams, but be very capable of going to an event and having the preparation and just being able to match the intensity where they can go on a run and get a good top 6, maybe a top 4. But the problem is, can they play good enough online to like stem the negative tide of roster changes and like probably lack of consistent slaying they have? Like, do you guys agree with that?
Yeah,
I think slaying is the number one thing for them.
Yeah, slaying is 100% the number one thing. Like we've seen P-Dog, right? Like Priesta has his moments, Skies has his moments. Same with Kismet. They all have their moments. Lynn started off the year so good, but then kind of like whittled down as the year went on. It's just kind of like, how are these guys going to match up with like the top teams? Like, are they going to be able to like consistently slay? That's the biggest question mark there with Gentlemates. And then Vancouver is a weird one to me. Go ahead, Sam.
Dude, I hate Vancouver.
I don't like it either.
No, the last thing on Gentlemates, I was talking with chat. I think although this is his like rookie or sophomore season technically, I think if Linz isn't good with this team, I think that like we've seen the ceiling that he can hit like for the foreseeable future. Because I think playing with Kiz is the best way to make sure that you're playing as good as you possibly can as a sub. Mm-hmm. And I think that like this is going to be Linz's team to show out and prove that like he is like that major one from last year, that former and rookie of the year candidate, and like the prospect that we thought he was going to be. But Pat's going to say the same shit, but Preston's got to get kills. That's what this team's going to be, bro. Preston has to get kills.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I mean, he's the flex player. When I look at all the flex players on every team, like that's a player that's got to be able to like do it all and like take over, right? Like
Preston has to step up. He has to. I agree. This could be his actual last chance to do it.
100%. It's just there's a lot of proven situation on this team. A lot of people that could have one bad stage and get dropped. And for Linz, it's like this is actually a very good squad to learn from because all these guys are pretty professional. They're grinders. They're going to give it all in practice.
It's a great spot for him to be after last year, for sure.
If he can't figure it out with this team,
well, anything's an upgrade for last year, Sam. He probably was going through it last year.
Yeah, that's true.
These are 3 players that are very influential pros, and like if Linz cannot figure out how to be that guy with them, like it is going to crush the stock, and he's going to have a very difficult time not just playing on bottom feeder teams.
With Vancouver, Sam, I felt like they could have done more. I feel like there's other players that they could have gone around and boozed.
Ronnie actually had a genuinely good take. He's in my chat, and he said if Kremp and Hixie switch spots, both teams would be better, and I actually agree with that wholeheartedly.
Actually, you might.
Yeah.
I think he cooked with that.
Yeah, actually, Hixie Nero sub duo. Actually,
I just worry, Sam, and let me get your honest opinions about this. Dude, does Vancouver have an entry fragger SMG player? No. Like, can 04 fit that role? I was saying yesterday that I don't see 04 being that type of player. He's a phenomenal player. I just don't know what kind
of player he is yet, is the thing.
Yeah, he needs to kind of solidify himself.
For like half a season, and his respawn wasn't great, obviously, because he had to fucking learn it on the fly, so I'm not going to hold that against him.
Yeah.
But I don't really know stylistically who I would want to play with him. Off the top of my head, I always go with pace and I go with kills. So I think Kremp on this team could be good. But I just think that 04 Nabuza was such a good landing spot for every single player on this page outside of the top 3 teams. And to see them end up with Hixie and Nasty, I just don't think is a good fit stylistically. I think that Nasty and Hixie are very good if you were to pair them with people that are high engagement, high kills, like can work the map well as kind of a backbone. But to put them on the same team with players that like need pace, I don't think works. I don't like the team. I'm not a fan of it thematically.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying yesterday. My chat was saying, but 04 is fast. 04 plays fast, but it's not about playing fast. It's like a play style thing. Like when you look at like a BZ or Kismet, what happened?
You're just learning on the fly.
Oh, 100%.
That's why I don't want to give him like a label or anything like that because he was figuring it out, bro.
But I'm saying, looking at this roster, Sam, 04 is going to have to step up in that spot because Hixie's not really that type of player. Hixie's kind of like the strategic, like route man, rotate, like make good plays, right? Like, you need somebody who just got to get down and dirty, man. Just throw himself into the mix.
There's a Rambo Raid. I love Raid, but like I see the vision of this team, right? Like we are going to play together. We're going to overwhelm people with numbers and force trades and take map control together. But
everybody's doing that. Everybody's doing that.
Here's the problem: it doesn't work, and you're coming off a spawn with no map control. Like who is winning gunfights to help open up the map? Who's that aggressive player?
My chat's saying that Reese would have been a good slot here too, and I agree.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah, Vivid's been. I haven't heard Reese's name. I was actually texting back and forth with Reese a little bit because he was talking about running different guns and shit like that. Yeah. Like he was just coming to me for some advice. But I'm actually surprised that we don't see Reese being at least targeted at all, like at least thought about. Like you see how some of these other rosters.
If he's not on a starting team, he'll be a midseason pickup for some of these guys. So I think that the skill ceiling of the game and the way that Black Ops 6 plays, I think is going to hit some of these teams like a fucking truck. And I think that when they see Reese on the market, he's going to be the first person that they go to.
Yeah. Somebody said Vivid's inconsistent, but one thing I like about Reese is he doesn't play for stats. Like, he doesn't mind. Like, he'll have so many interactions. Like, he'll get in the mix. Like, he'll get involved. Like, you need players like that on your team because it'll just make everybody around you better. You were just talking about that with Kismet, right, Sam? Like, for somebody like Linz, right? Like, having somebody like Kismet on his team should allow Linz to kind of play good COD, right? It should kind of put him in good scenarios and good spots to get kills and roam and slay. Like, every team needs a player like that. You look at, like, Carolina, like, they got Gwyn. Like, I see Gwyn as that type of player. All the top 3 teams all have that type of player, like that entry fragger type of SMG. I mean, if you look at fucking LA Thieves, Optic, and FaZe, like, you see how they're, like, composing their teams. Like, some people aren't really filling in that system, if you know what I mean. You know, like a fast sub, Slayer, roam sub around that, an aggressive flex, and then like a main AR. It doesn't always
have to be like that. Like, I don't think Optic has roles that are exactly like that with the way that AG and Ant work, but I feel like when you don't build a team the way that you should, having contrasting play styles and stuff like that, you have to have so much talent, in which the Optic case they do, that it doesn't matter. Yeah. And I think that when you're building teams outside of the top 4, you don't ever have that amount of talent for it to not matter. So all of these teams need to be building rosters in the way that, I mean, it sounds condescending, but like the way that we've been saying, you need contrasting styles, you need theme within your team. And when you're putting players like Nasty and Hixie on the same team without pace, or you're putting like Kremp and Nero together, there's no like someone to bounce off of. They're either both frying or they're both getting shit on. There needs to be some sort of contrast when you're putting together these rosters. And granted, we could just be fucking wrong right now, and these guys could just be one of the teams that figure it out when the game starts and they're just godlike, right? Because that happens every year. Mm-hmm. But just the way that some of these rosters have been put together, I do like some of them. I love Toronto. I think that's a really good team. I like the Ravens team. I like C9 sometimes, depending on how they work together. Like, there are good rosters here, but I think there's some players that are being left out, and I don't think should be at the moment. Like,
yeah, I mean, Challengers is going to be very competitive this year as well.
Do you guys talk about Minnesota yet or no?
Yeah, we talked about the roster. We briefly talked about it. Wasn't really too big of a fan on their roster. I mean, granted, there's only so much you can do. I mean, Ben, what are your immediate thoughts on the Carolina roster? People are asking about Illey too. We'll talk about Illey. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think Illey's getting in the league. He hasn't played COD in a year. I think I saw a clip of Shotzi talking about how Illey hasn't even been logged into BattleNet for over a month. Like, if he's not playing, he's not getting picked up.
People actually...
That's just, I saw a clip on Reddit of Shotzi looking at his BattleNet login logs. And I was like, bro, if he's not playing the game, he's not getting, like, Illey's just not going to get picked up. Illey has always been known as a grinder, bro. Always had the stream up, late night chows, putting in that extra time. Like, that was Illey's whole thing. Now he's not playing. He's nowhere to be found. No CDL team is going to pick up a player who's nowhere to be found. It's just not going to happen. Who's in the chat? Nate Shot to the chat. What did Nate Shot? Nate Shot just came in with a resub. He said, talk about Thieves. Don't think you've covered it yet. Nate. I'm gonna be honest. We've been talking about this damn roster for weeks. And also, Matt, I knew you were bullshitting in that clip. I knew you were lying in that. I could see your face. You looked like you wanted to smile in that clip. You looked like you were
straight up corn acting.
He looked like he was about to. He looked like he wanted to just start smiling and start laughing in that clip. I don't know, man. I think he was bullshitting. You know, but we talked about the LA Thieves roster a lot. I also saw that one of your players was smoking some papaya. I don't know. We might need to get on that. You know, I don't know if it's good for the brand, Matt, if he's smoking papaya like that. I wonder who taught him to smoke papaya like that on stream. It wasn't me. You know what I mean? It wasn't me, Matt. You know, but yeah, LA Thieves, great roster. Also, Matt, we got to get you on the flank. Everybody keeps saying you want to come on the flank. Is that true? Yes or no? I don't know if that's true. I don't know if people are putting words in my mouth, but hey, we got to get Nate Shot on the flank. And Jack. Does Jack want to come on? We got to get Jack on too. There he is. He said yes. We gotta get Matt on. We gotta get Jack on. We'll hit you up, Matt. We're gonna try and plan a day. We'll plan a date and we'll lock it in. You know what I mean?
Nice, pretty date.
But you guys agree with me on my Illey take, right? Like, there's no way. There's no way that guy's getting picked up.
I think, listen, again, because Inter doesn't really talk publicly, it's just kind of hard to know his thinking. I know there's some clip of Opti guys talking about it. I watched it. It's very ambiguous. Like, if he's not playing the game right now, his last attempt to get on a team in Minnesota didn't really work well in the middle of the season. Like, until he starts playing again, he's just really a non-factor, and I don't think anyone's really going to take a risk on him from roster spot standpoint.
Yeah, agreed.
He's like Kawhi Leonard, bro. You can't get 82 games out of him. Like, It's just a fucking risk. You know?
Mm-hmm. I was also talking about this with the Thieves roster, even with Matt in here right now, and even like seeing some of the videos that they released today. That's gonna be a good content roster too, bro. Like just looking at some of these
100%.
teams from like a content perspective or like a branding perspective. Like some of these teams are gonna be like, especially the LA Thieves roster, obviously the top teams, but I mean, I want to see all these rosters making content this year. Like show the players, show behind the scenes, like all the good, all the bad. Like I want to see it all, bro, with these guys. Like that always makes the league a lot more entertaining. So hopefully we get more content this year.
I want to see Thieves step it up because, like, I'll be candid. I thought, back when Sam was on the team, their doc series is really good. I wasn't the biggest fan of their content this year. I think Josh's stuff is incredible, by the way. Not the doc stuff, but I think the social stuff that Josh does is like very funny.
Oh, Josh is comedy, bro. Josh is hilarious.
Team is really good, but I think it's gonna be a really good content team. And like, I know it seems like they're gonna potentially not be playing from LA. I saw the Matt was talking about on stream.
Yeah, we kind of figured that. I mean, when you're picking up superstar players that live in Texas, that's how it always ends up, bro. They demand to stay in Texas. They don't want to leave Texas or wherever the hell they are. But if there's one place they're demanding to be, Texas is a great place to be because that's like the mecca for online Call of Duty, man. Like, why wouldn't you want to be in Texas?
You the best chance to be good.
Yeah, you connect well to all the servers. Like, you don't got to worry about internet problems or any of that bullshit. The LA internet is fucking dog shit, bro. Like, it is bad, bro. So like to have them in Texas.
Yes.
Where?
Not gonna say on stream, but I will type it in the chat.
Then why did you say yes? Okay, they're playing from Atlanta. Gotcha.
Okay, they're playing from Atlanta. Yep. Atlanta is the rumor right now. Atlanta's interesting. Atlanta's also another hot spot, bro. To be honest with you, Atlanta, I feel like that's where FaZe be playing out of, and people always say that FaZe has the best shit, Sam. That's what they say.
Dark fiber, brother. Dark fiber.
Yeah, I've never. I don't know. Obviously, I don't get to experience playing FaZe on that internet, but apparently Atlanta's got the best shit. Atlanta and Texas is what people be talking about, but
that's where you want to be if you're playing COD.
Yeah. I think overall, looking at the rosters though, man, it's cool to see all of them on paper and seeing all of them like lined up like this, just so you can kind of compare them all. I think we haven't really talked about Miami a lot, but with Renkor coming in,
bro.
Yeah, I mean they only made one swap. They bring in Renkor. We'll kind of see how they.
So who did they actually change?
I don't know.
Or did they just add him and they're like, eventually we'll figure it out?
That's usually how Miami does it, right? They bring all these guys on and
actual change. I feel like it was so long ago with their Rancor announcement that I don't remember if they did or not.
I'm not sure. I have no idea. People are saying Lucky.
Lucky?
Or not people, but one guy said Lucky. Literally one guy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Miami just yet. They're probably gonna. Maybe they'll do what they did. Didn't they just do this where they had like a bunch of players and they were kind of interchanging
last year with like Journey and shit?
They were interchanging people in and out, trying to figure out like who the best roster is. So that'll be interesting. We'll keep an eye on Miami like when the year starts and kind of see what's going on there. But gentlemen, any final thoughts on these rosters? I mean, these rosters are hella, bro, just from top to bottom.
These roster, the Minnesota roster sucks. I'm sorry, but like we got to come back to this. Like, what is the concept? Like, bro,
get him, Ben. Fuck him up.
Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
I need this Minnesota roster, like, because like I just don't. Minnesota don't learn any lessons from any of these teams that they built, bro. How important like getting a good start is. This is not a team. There's a good mid-season fucking team. Is a good. I don't care if Dan's in chat. There's a good mid-season team. Like once people know the game, because there's a lot of skill talent on this team. But like considering how everybody's kind of geared up, and I think have a lot of strong points, I look at this potential Minnesota team and like, what is their win condition as a squad?
I mean, who the fuck knows, bro? Who the fuck knows?
I just think like, and I hope Minnesota take a step back and look at some of these other teams forming. And they're like, and again, I think these are 4 talented players, but I look at the rest of the other teams forming, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean,
they're also
this like, combo is the right one.
I'm not gonna bail them out, but they are also last, so it's not like the talent pool is massive for them to work with anyway. You know what I mean? Like there are players that seem very straightforward for them to get.
But whose fault is that?
No, I know. I mean, apparently they were supposed to get like they were trying to get that Gentlemates team. Like they were trying to do things. I think at least behind the scenes. But
yeah, I mean, if you lose out and don't get the players you want, and now you're left in a weird spot, you gotta do the best you can to make a competitive roster. It's just hard to say good things about this team when you compare them against the rest of the league.
Here's the problem: is every other team we have criticized a lot of teams for making leftover squads, and I'm gonna be really candid with you. I really want to give respect to a lot of the bottom 6 of the league because some of the teams we're hearing right now are cohesive teams with a system concept. And yes, they're not perfect teams and they have weaknesses, but conceptually on paper, I understand what they're trying to do here. I don't understand what Minnesota's trying to do. This feels like a leftovers team. And look, we've seen leftover teams like Click, TK is the most famous example of World War II, basically a leftover team. And they were, the top team in the beginning of World War II. Sometimes it works, but I just don't see it happening with this one.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with these guys.
Tweet about Paco.
What happened?
Apparently, the New York didn't tweet about Paco leaving.
Oh, they didn't give him a farewell?
I guess not.
He probably doesn't give a fuck.
That stuff.
And the coaching staff. I mean, looking at the coaching staffs here, he's got Lamar coming in, D-Real,
like
Marky
Lamar
B.
there.
Yeah, me too. I think that's a perfect spot for Lamar.
D-Real and Mark's actually a very interesting combo. I'm not gonna lie. That's the same kind of thought process as Troy and D-Real, and that's why I kind of really like the Gentlemates as a dark horse, assuming that they aren't really poor online, like a very good dark horse lane team in the beginning of the season.
Yeah. I thought Boston was going to bring in Shawnee with that performance he had. Remember when they brought Shawnee in? Because wasn't somebody sick or something? They brought Shawnee in and I'm pretty sure Shawnee ended up with like some of the best stats on Boston at the end of the year, which is crazy. That's the construction man right there. If you guys remember, you guys know. You know what I mean?
I hear you on Ramaza.
Ramaza, fucking construction, MW19. Man, what a map, dude. What a fucking map.
Dude, just looking at these teams now, like, it's so evident now that we're seeing all the names on paper with everyone, that teams like Miami and teams like Falcons, you have so many players that just seem like, oh yeah, they'll be in the league, that are just sitting on the fringe right now because of that. Like, I don't know if that's like fucked or not, but like people like Estriel, people like Gio, people like Reese, like there are players that just seems like, yeah, they'll be in the league. They deserve a spot. They're gross. So, they can make a team. But now that you just have 8 spots that are gone, it's so much more evident now.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more, Sam. Any other final thoughts, gentlemen, on these teams? So for those of you that are just tuning in or have been tuning in, we definitely are planning to run an episode of The Flank. We'll get everybody on there. We'll hit up some people. We'll get some guests on. And then we can also do a tier list episode. If we get some guests on, we probably won't do a tier list. We'll do another episode for the tier list. So we definitely got some episodes coming out for y'all here in the near future. People are saying when? Here in the near future, for sure. Also, me and Ben just got off a 1-hour phone call about 40 minutes ago. Obviously, don't want to leak too much, but Ben, we have so much planned. And Sam, you actually know what's going on because I put it in the group chat.
Yeah, baby.
But there's so much going on, guys. Let's just say that as soon as Black Ops 6 drops, we're getting right into it. You know what I mean? We're getting right into it. We got so many things that we're doing, and we're going to be seeing all these players in action going crazy. So I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited for it. And I know last year we kind of did a flank invitation. We did one thing. We're looking to do a lot more this year. We're looking to do multiple things. That's the goal.
Respin.
No respins. You won't see no respins. You won't see any of that bullshit. We're just, you know what I mean? No
20 gifted.
20 fucking, actually it was 100 gifted. or 50. I think it was 50 gifted from each player. But no respin cheese. I know people hated that last year, so we learned our lesson. We definitely won't do any of that shit. But a lot is planned, bro.
Ooh, Cobra tweet.
There's a
translate
Cobra tweet.
Post. Chat, what is this shit translated to?
I'm actually Cobra. What's crazy too is Cobra was a name that we were. What's Cobra's Twitter? Because I put in Cobra and I'm seeing Cobra Tate.
2A's MVP.
Cobra 2A's MVP.
Big shit. This league sucks.
Let me see here. Let me translate this shit, man. I'm actually surprised Cobra's name was being thrown around a lot this year. And now you're not even seeing him on any of these rosters. You're not even seeing him being thought about some of these rosters. I mean, that's weird, right?
This shit sucks. That's what I'm saying with these 8 roster spots that are fucking chalk, bro. There's people and rookie talent that just isn't getting a spot because of it. There's just 8 spots that are fucking locked.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because he was definitely a standout player in challengers. Like everybody was talking his name up.
But like, how much of this is like? And this is again, there's always truth somewhere in the middle. Like, how I would love to know how much of this is like, is he not doing a good enough job like fighting for himself?
Like politics? You don't think he's talking?
Getting getting hit up by some of these people and not making a good case for himself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know there are a lot of amateur players that like to let their gameplay do the talking, and they, talk on Twitter all about it. But like, you guys were pro players.
What do you guys think, chat? Do you think politics get involved when it comes to these rosters? I think they do. I think you got to be able to network and talk and make certain phone calls and kind of sell. You got to sell yourself. Got to sell yourself a little bit. Maybe there was some cheese coming in. I mean that's just kind of like that shit happens, bro. I think with some of these guys, bro, like they're just gonna have to just get another year in challengers, and like Sam said, there's gonna be a lot of mid-year pickups, bro. Like there will definitely be teams that just fall flat on their face. Like a lot of these rosters, not everybody can be top 3, top 4, right? Like a lot of these rosters aren't gonna do well, and there's probably gonna be some changes. And maybe that's when we see Cobra or Vivid or some of these other guys coming in that have kind of been talked about that people are looking to bring in. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens. I'm so excited for Black Ops 6, bro. I'm so excited for it. The only thing I'm worried about is maps with Black Ops 6. I'm worried about it a little bit. Just by looking at some of the layouts, I looked at all the 6v6 maps that are coming out, and just looking at like the mini map and the layout of them all, like I just don't know like how some of these maps are gonna play out. For all we know, they might all be godlike. The maps might all be insane. Who knows? But I worry about it a little bit because I think that's really important. I think every year that's one of the most important things is how good are the maps and the spawns. And if they're shit, it is what it is. We gotta have to grind through it again. You know what I mean? But
yeah, this Treyarch, I got faith.
Yeah, it's exactly. I'm like with Treyarch. Like if there are shit maps, I feel like they would make more maps. Like I don't know why. I just feel like they would, just based on their history. But
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and for people coming in, some people are asking about Rokkr. They're confused because there's question marks there. But yeah, Rokkr right now
not confirmed yet.
Is not confirmed yet. But there has been some leaks. We already talked about it. But this is the roster right here for Minnesota, so you can get your honest opinions there. But
the map thing, Tom. Look. Almost every game has launched, and we've had just on that first event just 1 or 2 kind of iffy maps. As always, we got to hope we have like 3 to 4 really good ones on the rip. And just that season 2, end of season 1 reloaded maps are good. Because if we can reload and get to the middle of the season, the beginning of the spring with a good map set, like that's how you have a good year, Like, we're just not going to get like a goated rip off the set like, Black Ops 2 was kind of blessed with that, but like AW map pool took a while to come together. Cold War, probably the best CDO game map pool wise. Didn't get better until Raid got in the mix. So that's just how it is.
Yeah, agreed. Any other final thoughts, gentlemen? I think we could call it there. We'll leave the rest of it for the flank. We'll talk about a lot of this shit on the flank. Some people are coming in. Some of you guys are late. Like, where's Illey? We talked about Illey, Wraith. We talked about him. Sacred, we talked about some of these guys, talked about Illey, talked about all these guys. I mean, we're gonna run a flank episode. I definitely want to run a tier list episode, and then I'll keep you updated with some of the other stuff going on.
When do you want to do it?
We'll talk. I gotta look at the schedule and see what's going on.
There isn't a single rookie.
As you guys also know, Kason is planning something really cool.
What are you talking about?
I guess the Falcons. We
everybody
don't count the Falcons. They bought their way in, though. We don't count that.
The whole team's a bunch of rookies.
Yeah, but that's like fake rookie pickup.
Kason is planning something really cool this weekend, man. Stay tuned for it.
Kason shit is cool.
Yeah, there's an announcement soon that's going to be hitting the timeline, so I'll definitely be pulling that up and showing a lot of love. But we just got some things planned, so I just got to look at the schedule, Ben, and we'll talk about when we do it because there's some things happening and some things coming up.
We just find some time during the week. I think the tier list episode will be. And we should.
I always love a good tier list.
And just chat some future things we're working on. Obviously, Matt wants to come on. We're trying to get Luti on to talk Falcon stuff, and I am trying to get Jack C9. Jack said he's down.
I want to get Courage on. I seen Courage talking about casting. Like, I want to get like Jack Dunlop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get Jack on too once C9 Jack once their roster is finalized. He said he wants to come on. So
yeah. No, that'll be far for sure. And if any other pro players or if any, we would love to get as many guests on. Like this year, we want to go crazy with guests, man. We want to get as many people on as possible. Like we want to get players on and coaches and GMs and owners and whoever the fuck wants to come on. So
Spence on. He's cooking me in your fucking chat.
Wait,
brother.
I actually think a Spencer episode would actually be really good.
Spencer episode.
I'm down, bro. Yo, Spinner, when the hell are you getting in there, bro?
Spencer would be a good episode.
He said F tier Benja. That's insane.
F tier is finishing in fucking EAFC. Don't talk to me.
You know what I mean? I mean, what a pleasure.
Gwyn said he's down, dude. Let's go. It's my rookie of the year right there.
What's Scrappy doing? Is he on Rokkr League? Yeah, he texted me to get on Rokkr League. TS. Sam, you want to play with us?
About Rokkr League. Nah, I'm gonna get off.
You getting off? 7. All right, bet. We gotta get you in some of these Rokkr League games, bro. We've been.
I've actually low-key had the itch. I've been watching you guys play. I'm like, yeah, I might have to get back in there. Here, I have to learn how to get off the ground again.
Someone said a Doug Sensor Morning episode. I just don't know.
Give me a second.
With Doug, what we can talk about for a whole episode. But we can get him on for a segment. I actually think we do a good Doug segment.
That was like the most nonchalant. Like I don't even know if that was intentional. Just the backhand of that.
It's not. There's nothing backhanded about it. It's not. I'm not saying that Doug is disinteresting.
Funny.
I'm just saying like I just don't.
No, I get what you mean, but the way that you said that was just so funny.
I wanna. What I would be most curious about is like now that Doug's at the world record thing, which by the way, it's insanely fucking terrible out of him. Like trained for 2 years, pulled that off flawlessly. Like massive fucking respect to Doug for doing that shit. I don't have the fucking physical mindset ability to train like that for 2 years to pull that up. So Wug's in the chat for that. But it's like I think the most key thing is like talking about his involvement with Boston. I don't know if we can have an hour and a half convo about that. I think we can do 20-30. I just don't know.
Is he still affiliated with them?
Well, that's my next question is what is his involvement with Oxygen now? Like if they completely restructure that. So don't know the answer to that either.
What's up, Ernie?
Yo, teammate.
Look who it is.
Look who it is, man.
100 Thieves Scrap.
What's going on, teammate?
It's LA Thieves Scrap, man. That's crazy, man.
The second best AR to ever play for LAT. Let's go.
I mean, Sam, you never beat me, so.
Weird. How many chips do you have?
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, talk to me when you get what, 3?
Sam, you're fucking insane, dude. You're him, dude.
The instant
Dude, I really played against the best players ever, bro. Like, these guys literally play plumbers now, dude. Like, it's just insane.
Oh God.
I'd have a field. We'd have a field day in this league. Sam.
Yo, Ernie, whose roster is not dog shit?
You know what I mean?
Not dog shit.
Not dog shit.